Welcome back, family, friends, and fans. It's Karma Lately. I hope that everybody is well, staying safe. Hopefully, we are going to be getting out of this quarantine soon enough. Not too soon. Don't rush it just because it's summertime and you want to feel good and it's Memorial Day weekend. Don't rush it. We have to be safe and do the right things. But if you have an opportunity to be outside and to enjoy some family time, then you should do that. If you do not have that opportunity that you can be with all your family and friends like you usually do, then today is actually a suggestion for quarantine during Memorial Day weekend. So a lot of people have been using Zoom, and I've been thinking about doing Zoom for some paint and sip with me, or like create and drink with me kind of thing. I've been meaning to do something like that, and I wanted to give you guys an idea. With this particular video, you can either use my video or you can take my instruction from this video and be the instructor for your own video for Memorial Day. Gather your friends, tell them to just get some basic supplies, and you guys can actually create something together over some drinks or some coffee or tea or whatever it is that you want to do. And you can maybe take an hour or two to just have a good time and create something together. And the best part is that you guys are gonna have music playing, and you can create, and you can kind of create an environment. I know it's hard with Zoom to feel connected, but there are ways to get connected. One of the ways is to maybe put a mutual song that everyone loves, a song that's familiar for you guys so that you have good memories with, or just some relaxing jazz, some cool rock tunes, some old 80s songs, just anything that you think will set the vibe and set the tone for your experience. You guys want to get some paper, and it could be just as simple as getting a pencil. You don't even have to have like fancy markers and ink pads, although today I am going to be using some ink pads to color in whatever we create today. And yeah, so that's just an idea for Memorial Day if you guys wanted to try that. You know, people get confused and they're like, well, I can't draw, or I'm not creative. Well, okay, but that doesn't mean you can't create. You can create. If you don't like what you created, that's one thing. If you feel that someone else might have more ideas for their creation, and in turn you're deeming them creative, that's another thing. But it doesn't mean that you can't create. I'm pretty sure everyone can get a piece of paper and can try to follow along with whatever it is. And that's what those paint parties are. You know, people have told me that they've gone to those and they're like, it's crazy. I thought I couldn't do anything, and meanwhile I followed the step-by-step and look at what I created. Today I decided that I want to do a horse, and my pencil is not fully sharpened, so that's making me a little bit uncomfortable, and it doesn't have a great eraser. The eraser's here, so I'm a little bit of a mess today because I can't find my sharpener, and I have a sharpener, but it destroys my pencil. But I'm looking for my good sharpener, and I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm sure one of my daughters stole it, and it's not going to turn up for another couple of weeks. So that's fine. So I'm going to start with just kind of outlining. Matter of fact, I think, so this is a long legal sized page. I don't know what you guys have, but I'm gonna just start by drawing just a little bit of an outline on what it is that I want. And I kind of like to sketch draw and work a little light, even though this is actually pretty dark. This is pretty dark, but yeah, I want to work a little bit like sketchy. And this is not gonna be perfect. I'm probably gonna be erasing soon because I know how I am. I know I'm gonna be erasing soon. And I'm just envisioning a horse at this point. I usually work from a picture. But I have been practicing quite a bit lately, so I feel like I can challenge myself today to not work from a picture. But feel free to challenge yourselves or not challenge yourselves. Sometimes when I draw, the perspective is kind of off. And I understand that. I know that to be one of my flaws. And I'm just like trying to like think before, and a lot of times we don't do that in life. We don't think before we act. So right now I'm just trying to envision and think about what's happening and hope that everything makes sense and aligns. Now, like I said, I'm just working really sketchy because I want to then go in with detail. Although today I want to go in with detail more so with some ink. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And then step back. Step back. Think about it. Think about what is it that you want to do? This area here to me looks off. So I'm just gonna do it again until I feel comfortable with it. That feels better. Still a little weird. I feel like I don't know why it's a he, but I feel like his neck should be longer. I mean, thicker. So this is like the other side of his eye is the way that I'm seeing this part here. This is the other side of his nostril. So we're gonna try to match it, but diagonally since he's on an angle. And I'm just gonna see if I do that like that. And then this is one eye, so the other eye is gonna fall right here. I feel, maybe. I don't know. I always have trouble with eyes. What I noticed about horses is that no matter if it's a woman, look at me, a woman, no matter if it's a female or a male horse, it's like beautiful, beautiful eyes. So I'm not gonna do too many details yet to that. So now we have our layout. All right, so now I feel like this one is too big. And I really didn't have to erase the entire thing, but it's like sometimes, right? I felt like it was too high. It's like weird because with horses, it's like one move and it becomes a donkey. Another move and it becomes another move and it becomes a unicorn. Another move and it becomes a zebra. Like, you gotta just know, okay, so we're doing a horse. So that's that. And then, I mean, you could do a saddle if you wanted to, but I don't want to do a saddle because I kind of want to draw a free horse. I want to draw a wild horse that's roaming free and enjoying life. Another thing about horses, they got the best bang ever. And so we're gonna give this one now. Since I'm giving it a bang, I just kind of want to add the feel of hair over here. Not too much, because I want to do some things. All right, so let's see. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I'm gonna take out some distress inks, and hopefully I don't ruin this. Now in this case, you guys can take out paint, you can take out makeup. Makeup is great for distressing. If you have some like eyeshadows, or and for the men, go to your wives, girlfriends, sisters, moms, go to their makeup palettes and see if you can borrow something, an old palette that they're not willing to throw out but they'd be willing to let you use. And you can use that, or you can use crayons, pencils. I mean, you could use paint if you wanted to. Just dilute the paint with water, and don't make your paper too wet. But we're really trying to create distress instead of like actual painting. So you can do that nicely with your pencils, crayons, distress inks, paint that has been diluted with water, and then you can maybe use a sponge brush or a brush, a paint brush. What else can you use? Makeup. What else? I'm trying to list everything for you guys. Yeah, so for now, oh, chalk. Chalk is really, really great. And I have some chalk around here somewhere, but I'm not using chalk today. But yeah, my daughters surprised me with some distress ink, these in particular. This one I already had, but these in particular. And so some of these I've never used before. I've used the antique linen, I've used the vintage photo, and the walnut stain. I've used those three, but these are all new. And so we've got the tea dye, shabby shutters, black soot, milled lavender, and festive berries. And so we're going to use these on our project for our horse. Okay, so remember, for your Zoom chats, tell everybody take out your colored pencils, your crayons, your makeup, whatever you guys have in hand, so we can now put some detail with color versus putting the detail with the pencil. The pencil we just used as an outline. So I think some of the colors that I'd be willing to work with today are the tea dye, vintage photo, walnut, and the soot. And maybe we're gonna go with some antique linen. All right, cool. So we're not gonna work with that. We're gonna work with this. I guess I'm gonna start off light and I'm going to end dark. So I'm gonna start with my light colors and then I'm gonna end dark. So just gonna give certain areas a little bit of light. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to give a little bit of color and dimension to the horse. Hopefully soon it's gonna start coming together, right? So that was antique linen. And now I've been dying to try out this tea dye, which I've never tried before. And I didn't even test it. I mean, first of all, I assumed that it was gonna be within the family of colors that I wanna use here. You just gotta be careful with some of these sharp edges when you're working with these distress inks. There's certain areas that you kind of want to soften, and then there's certain areas that you want to have more bold. I want to use some this is a walnut stain. Oh god, I love this color. This walnut stain is gonna give me shadows, I'm assuming. Damn, these are harsh. This is pretty harsh. Let's see if I can lighten it up. I mean, I'm challenging myself to use this, but it could end up a disaster in the long run. I have faith. I have faith that I can fix this up. You know, animals have all these colors and shadows on them. And it's nice when you can include that in your work. I have to be very, very careful with this color here. It's very, very bold. It's super bold. That's a walnut stain. Well, let's get some vintage photo on here for the hair. And just tell your friends to have a good time. Stop worrying about if they're artists or not. Stop worrying about who did a better job or who you think did a better job. Trust me, the person who you think did a better job probably thinks you did a better job. How about that? Our perception of ourselves is always so skewed that we end up not having a good time, just worrying about what other people are gonna think about you. Who cares? You know? Like, I started this channel and I hadn't been practicing art for a couple of years because I was so busy working that I hadn't done any. That was Vintage Photo. This is Black Soot. I didn't have time to really work on my art, and for other artists, you know, they know it's hard when you're when you haven't been in the game for a while. You kind of feel like out of it and like, oh, I need to practice, I need to do better. So actually the Black Soot ended up being very chalk-like, very chalky, and this walnut stain is actually very thick, and I want to use the thick one for the eyes better. Like I said, I noticed that horses have such beautiful eyes. Oh, it's almost like they want you to read their soul when you look at them. If you haven't had the pleasure of meeting a horse in person in your life, definitely you need to. They're definitely magical, magical creatures. And now you can take your colored pencils or your crayons and just start going over. It's nice to have a couple of colors that you're working with, so it's not all one thing. You want to have a couple of colors, you know. I'm gonna start bringing in some of the linen color. On this paper, it just looks very mustardy, and I like that. It's gonna fill in everything else really nicely and give me the shadows that I'm looking for. So the hair's on the other side is what I want to do. I don't want the hair on this side. So. I made a mistake, but that's okay. I don't think I can erase it. So for all of you who are using colored pencils, you're lucky. I can't erase Distress ink. That's okay, we can always fix things up. I didn't intend for that to happen, but that's okay. And there's no right or wrong, just have a good time. Please stop telling yourself all this negative stuff. I can't do it. I know I can't do it because I'm not good like that. I've been talking to people about that for years. The minute you tell yourself that you can't, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a 99.9% chance that you won't. So it's just that simple. Now I think I'm going to go back in. To give myself a little point of reference over here. So you don't know what color he is because there's light glaring and there's shadows and different things happening. You don't know what color he is, but that's quite all right. He certainly does know what color he is. I'm going to outline the hair just a little bit more. That's that. So with the exception of this little mistake over here, that mistake is driving me nuts. As much as I'm saying, oh yeah, ignore it, ignore the mistakes, I'm like, I don't want to see that right now. So in an effort to present you without that mistake, I'm just gonna put a little bit of paint. Just a tiny bit. Here comes, I was just saying, oh, leave it alone, it's fine. But yeah, I kind of don't want that right there. Because I feel like it's taking away from, if it's taking away from it, then you can do whatever you need to do to remove it. I don't know if I'm making this better or worse, but I just definitely didn't want that there. So now that I did that, I guess I'm gonna go ahead, and you don't have to do this extra step because you didn't make any mistakes, but I'm gonna go ahead and outline all around so that it's not just that one section. Hopefully I don't make any more mistakes. This is good for anything you want to cover too. Like, it's generally, I'm sure there's so many other artists who've done this, not just me. Paint over some of your mistakes with a little bit of white. Why not, right? And this paper is not white, it's actually like a it's like a cream. I love to work with this kind of paper, this color paper. And what we're doing here, by mistake, we're making the horse pop a little bit. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, as you can see. And now with the white, the horse is gonna pop. So, like we say in Spanish, no hay mal que por bien no venga, which means sometimes good things come from bad things. In other words. and that's not an exact translation, but it's close enough, right? I mean, I have plenty of brushes lying around, but I don't want to work with them. Yeah, so I hope that you guys like have a good time this weekend, whatever you decide to do. This was just an idea for some of us who might be a little bored this weekend and you want to find something cool to do with friends, or you do go to a barbecue but it ends early, because you know, things nowadays, things are, if you have something to do, it's not lasting as long as it did back in the days, you know? So hopefully some of you decide to do this and have a good time if you do. I love acrylic and how fast it dries. Some of these parts over here are already dry. So that's that, guys. Thanks for sticking around and for having a little fun with me. I always like to create with you, and I'd love to be challenged. If you have a challenge for me, something that I can do, if I don't have the materials, I'll see what I can work with and figure it out. But please let me know what you'd like me to try. In the meantime, try this. Do it with your family and friends and laugh with each other, laugh with what you came up with, admire what someone else came up with. Like, let's just enjoy each other and enjoy art. And I hope you guys had a good time today. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna probably be posting a lot over the weekend just because I'm gonna have a little extra time on my hands. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I need your help. Please subscribe, like, comment below, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace. Find out how I use the horse in my next episode.